Hi guys, welcome and welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time being here, thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for clicking on this video. In this video, I'm gonna show you how I embroider this applique design using my PE 900 single needle embroidery machine using the repositional hoop. Now, if that is something you're interested in, do keep on watching. Okay guys, so the first thing you'll have to do is to put your heat and bond light on your applique, the fabric that you're going to use for your applique. The next thing you'll have to do is you should go ahead and make a crease in the middle of your shirt. Then you're going to do your cutaway stabilizers. Now some of you might ask, how do I know which stabilizer to use? If you are going to wash it constantly, use cutaway. So what you want to do is to make the stabilizer as large, a little bit larger than the hoop that you're using. In this case, it's the repositional hoop. Then I turn the garment over on the wrong side. When I turn it on the wrong side, you're going to ensure that the middle of the stabilizer is matching that crease, because you want it to be evenly distributed. Then I take my spray and I just spray the edges of the stabilizer. The reason why is I don't want to spray the middle and it gums up my needle, and every minute the needle will just break or it will stop stitching. After that, I flip it over, and then what my little trick to get it to be centered is that line, that crease that I make initially in the garment. I take the bottom of my hoop, ensure that the notches is laying flat, and what I do, I take the top part of the hoop and I match it up with the crease. Now this is what you're gonna do. So sometimes when you put that hoop underneath it, it's not gonna be straight all the times. But what you need to do is to use the guide, the top part of the hoop, as a guide. You see where those little two indications are? That's what you're going to use to match up the crease. So when you have that crease matched up, it's gonna be very easy for you to hoop your design. Now ensure that when you're hooping, the bottom piece that is underneath the shirt, it is slacking off so that the hoop could just slide into it. Now if it's too tight and you did not loosen it, you're going to have a difficult time getting the hoop inside. Okay, so be patient at this point, because you don't want a crooked shirt. So I try to just take my time to get this part done, and when it's done, I'm going to be happy with the results. Now this is what it looks like, and what I'm gonna do not forget to tighten back your hoop. You need to tighten it in such a way that when you hit the middle of your hoop, in the middle of your hoop, it sounds like a drum. Because what happens is that the machine is gonna keep going, moving and moving and moving, and if it keep moving and the hoop is not tight, then it will just mess up your work. Now what I did, I went and I got the first half of my design and I hoop my sweatshirt onto the embroidery machine, and the first half is gonna do first. Now it depends on how you turn your hoop. Sometimes you will have to rotate the design. You have to rotate it so that the words are facing the top of your hoop. Now the first thing I did was I went ahead and the machine is going to do the placement stitch. Now this is the stitch that you will use as a guide to put your fabric over it. The fabric that you put your tender not your tender touch, your oh my god, I forget my thoughts. But the fabric that you've prepared earlier, that is what you're gonna put at this point. Okay, so the machine is gonna go, and then you are going to put that material that you prepared over this stitch. So this is what I'm talking about. Now it's gonna do the top down stitch, and what I tend to do when I'm designing is that I make this stitch length very small, so that even if I go ahead and cut it, it will not pop the thread. Now this is what it looks like when the first half of the design is done. Now what you're going to do for the second half, you have to go all the way out of the design and then come back in. Now it's going to do the second half. If you want a more detailed explanation of how you go out and you go in, I have a video, a very detailed video that I'm gonna link to show you how I maneuver the embroidery machine in order to get the designs. Now this is done, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna clean up the design. Now this is very important. If you are going to sell this shirt, you do not want to send the shirt out and it's not cleaned properly. So what I do, I go ahead and I just use my lighter to get all the stitches, the loose threads that I did not get, and I try my best to use my scissors to get all the thread. After I do this step, then it is time now for me to go ahead and unhoop. So I'm gonna go ahead now and I'm gonna unhoop this design. I do take a good while right here whenever I am cleaning up my design, because even though this shirt is for me, I want it to look proper inside and outside, and that is just a personal thing for me. All right, so after I do this, I just go ahead and I turn my shirt inside out, and then I'm gonna go get my iron. You could use a heat press. I was just feeling lazy and I didn't want to turn the heat press on, so I used an iron. I put a piece of parchment paper over, and then I ironed down my applique. Now this will activate the heat and bond that you used earlier. See, I could not remember that name, but so this will activate the heat and bond that you used earlier, and it will allow the applique to stay flat. After that, I go ahead and I turn it back inside out, and then I apply my tender touch. The purpose of the tender touch is for those persons who have sensitive skin, and if, as I said, if you are sending this out as an order, you want it to look proper. You don't want to just send out a garment that is not finished inside out. So the tender touch allows your garment to have a nice finish, and it, for those who have sensitive skin, this will also help to not let that the embroidery to scratch your skin. So all you have to do, there's two sides to it. There's a rough side and there is a smooth side. The rough side is what goes onto the garment, and I'm just applying this with an iron. You could use a mini heat press to do this. I was just feeling lazy and the iron was close by. Now I'm going to show you what the end result looks like. I do hope that you find some value in this video. If you did, remember to give me a thumbs up. Do not forget to subscribe and turn on the post notification bell so you'll be notified each time I make a video. Now this is the final results. Let me know what you think, and I will definitely see you in my next one. As I said, if you have any questions about the file that I use, let me know. I will put a link where you could get a more detailed video on how to get your files when you're using the repositional hoop. Until we meet, bye.